This weekend, for a couple days, we're staying at Copper Falls State Park. I'll give you a full tour of that up there. But while we're there, there's not just Copper Falls, which also has two other falls in it. There are lots of other falls up in northern Wisconsin here. So for one day, we're taking an eastern loop from there, working our way up to Superior Falls. I'm at Copper Falls State Park. Got up got up dark and early to wander down to Granite Falls. Followed the trail, took a couple pictures, but came here during peak color. So I'm going to give you the tour around as well as these falls. Granite Falls, the trail so far has, if you stay on the trail, you ain't going to see much. You kind of have to follow some of the paths off to get closer to the water and actually see some of the falls. They're not big, dramatic falls. These are actually falls that people will kayak down. So they're just really steep rapids. Not really falls. Beautiful place. I got Granite Falls. The trail for that is 2.5 miles out and back. So it's a little bit of a hike. And there's, like I said, just more of a rapidy kind of thing. Our first stop from Copper Falls State Park is Potato River Falls. And there's an upper and lower. Let's go take a look at those. Alrighty, I am at Potato River Falls. Forgot what little town I just went through. This is in the North Country of Wisconsin, the North Woods. I am heading off to the Upper Falls. I already ran down there once, said I need my tripod to get better pictures, and heading back down there now because the light is absolutely beautiful. So I gotta hustle down there and wait to see the steps that I already climbed once. Alright, here are the stairs. Alright, after 130 steps, by the way, they're not even, I made it down to the viewpoint for these falls. There's some little side trails too, but this is the main viewpoint. After a few photos down here, back up the steps. Let's go check out the lower falls. So, I have just been informed by my spouse, who's already come down this way. This is Lower Falls. It's further. Okay, first set of steps, 75 of them. But there's more to come, because this is the Lower Falls and we're starting from the same parking area, which means we have to go down further. So this trail is broken up into several smaller sets of staircases. I'm just over 100 stairs now, but now I'm just sort of walking a gradual slope through the woods, working my way down. I believe there's more stairs ahead. as well as a pause bench. I made it to the pause bench in a little area, and you can sit here and look at the falls, but there's more stairs to go. All right, made it to the landing, one of the landings for Lower Potato River Falls. Zoom out here. Didn't quite catch the light as well here as I did at the other ones. It's all in the timing. I'm going to guess there were about 50 more stairs coming down to this one than to the upper falls, just to give you a sense, but this one is broken up into sections. It took about 30 more steps down off to another little side trail that brought me right down to the river and found this beautiful little spot. I'm going to try to get a really nice photo here. Let's see what I come up with. Well, let's hope some of those shots came out well. Should have brought my polarizer filter. Heading back up, we're going to go off to another fall. One more thing down here before I head back up. There's a nice little beach here. This looks like a really nice place to just come and swim a little bit in a nice safe spot in the river. Little bit of rapid right there. But there's the beach. Alright, as you're climbing these steps, just know it's not you, it's the steps. Some of them are on level, so it's a little wonky. That is a lot of steps. I know I got more in my day. I think I'm gonna go have a banana right now. Okay, that was Potato River Falls. Where to next?
We're going to Superior Falls.
So the GPS says Superior Falls is only 18 minutes away. Okay, we're at what we believe to be Superior Falls. We've pulled off at a spot for an energy company, so I believe the energy company with a dam is creating the falls. And by the way, there's Lake Superior out there, and we have got one heck of a climb. We're coming down here. So that's Superior Falls. And that keeps you from getting around to the other side. There's this little rock that kind of, so you can get around there. It doesn't really improve the view much, to get you a better shot of that. But it's really kind of a pretty spot down here. You can swim down here, but they do have a warning that if they let open the gates, you may not want to be here because it'll flood this valley, and they'll sound a horn when that happens. And that's Lake Superior, just off over there. So it's a nice little stream heading out to Lake Superior. To give you a point of reference, right now we're here in the fall, and to even get to where we got to, we're walking out in the river on this basically river bed. So I don't know if the water is even any higher, if you can get any closer than this than we are right now. Of course, you could always paddle up from the lake. So my wife noticed the otters swimming at the exit of the power plant fishing.
Hop around, and these guys are eating like nobody's business.
Okay, so after climbing back up the hill to the van, getting a new battery for the camera, going on a hunch, and just got a confirmation from some other hikers, you actually pull in next to the power station here, the transformer, follow the fence, and we'll get a different view of the falls. Oof, leaves falling on me. So follow the fence out, and there's the upper view of the falls. Definitely feeling fenced in, but that's quite the cliff. Well, that was definitely an easier trip. Decent view, but I don't regret walking down to Lake Superior. That's worth it too, because there's not many places along this stretch where you can actually get down to it, because it's a lot of cliff faces. I mean, it's kind of a drop down to there. There's a drop to Lake Superior from here. After a little bit of wandering around, we're back at the state line. We wound up crossing the Michigan and meandering for a while. I tell you, the colors were gorgeous. Surprised there were no other leaf peepers along that Lake Superior drive we just took. But we are now at Interstate Falls, so we're going to follow the trail up and check out Interstate Falls. So after touching base with my wife at Interstate Falls, because I got lost on the way, if you get off the trail, you'll find lots of little waterfalls that all sorts of opportunity for photos. But now I'm actually at Interstate Falls. And by the way, Peterson Falls is upstream of here, but apparently it's like on private property, not easy to access. Just keep following the stream up and you might figure it out if you're there or not, because there's lots of little waterfalls on the way. Now I'm down at the viewing platform, and there is Interstate Falls. I can keep going down and try to set myself up down there for a shot. Well, to be honest, I spent a lot of time here, probably pushing my luck with my wife at this point. She's sitting back at the van. She's got some knitting and some other projects she's working on, but I think she's probably ready to go to another falls. But this little stream, or the river that feeds Interstate Falls, is just filled with photography nuggets here. Definitely worth checking out. So I made it out to Upson Falls next. There is a park and campground here that when we got here was closed. So we're kind of parked on the road. I snuck up on the edge of the river over here, scampered across the rocks to try to get my photo of that. Could probably get a similar shot right over there on the bank, but the park was closed. Those are the rocks I was just standing on. There was a little bit of a scamper across, and across, and some people were watching me in a sketchy point there. waiting for me to fall in. But I made it out and made it back. Those are some beautiful falls. I'll let you know what the name of those falls were. But the road into here, super sketch. We just crossed that bridge and said that's as far as we're going. No signage saying this is where the falls were. I don't even know if that's what the falls are. These are logging roads, I believe. And they are what they are. Okay, give you a sense of what I'm doing right now. There's my tripod out in the stream. I'm standing on two rocks out there behind it to try to get the image of this reflections in the water over here. Okay, to give you a little sense of how sketchy this road is, that was the spot I was able to turn around. The road actually kind of goes down that way. Yeah, we ain't doing that. And I wasn't going to go up further. And it's starting to get later in the day. And last thing I want to do is be out here in the dark. That was Rouse Falls. Super sketchy drive in. Cool falls. Well, we made our way to Foster Falls. Very poorly marked. And very interesting. It's a long sort of chute fall. And you can climb all over these rocks, which I'm sure, when the water's higher, are going to be completely different. There's also this one little cool, little black cliff face over there with a fall on it. There it is. I have to figure out how to photograph this long, skinny thing. These rocks are a lot of fun to just climb around on. You're free to do whatever. So we went down a logging road, a forest road, a fire road, just before you hit the river, and you could drive across the river. There's a little parking area for the Great Northern Trail. Follow the trail north, and it'll be off on the right. There's a little side trail. Good luck. So that was Foster Falls, and again you're here with his peak colors. And I think one of the bonuses we got this year was last week up here, I think they had a hard freeze. So we're up here wandering the woods with 0 mosquitoes. It is fabulous. We got so lucky. And we definitely hit peak color. Got a little drizzle coming in now, so we're gonna move on. Oh, look at the color. Well, we followed the long trail out to Wren Falls. Got this beautiful river coming down. Got this nice outcropping. The falls are right down there. And oh, such beautiful color. I gotta figure out how to get down there so I can see the actual falls. The road out to the falls from the last falls we were at, Foster Falls, The main road is fine. Once you finally find the road that actually brings you out here, it's a little sketchy, but it's passable. Now the good news is I just came down past a fire pit, found this little opening. Get a nice view of the falls here. Let's go see if we can get another shot. Well, there's all sorts of little trails coming through here. My wife ran ahead and I just got an awe from her, so let's go see what she just found. Alright, went a little further, see if we can see. Found a little bend in the river here. Some more water just flowing. It's just absolutely gorgeous out here. And there's a bridge over there, so let's see if we can find our way to the bridge. So what we're hiking over to that bridge on is actually the Great Northern Trail. It's getting a little dark in the woods here, as it is thick woods. And the trail is there so you can actually get, or the bridge, so you can get to the other side on the trail. You see me? The bridge is right up ahead. So this is the Bill Thomas Bridge, built in 2019, so that was just last year. Well, I never did find a safe way to get down to the base of those falls. Perhaps crossing the river and sneaking around and looking around, I might have found something, but it's starting to get dark. I've got this lens wide open now, and we're gonna have to get back to our campsite because it's a little bit of a hike yet back. We crammed quite a few waterfalls into our first day. We never even got back to the campsite to do Copper Falls. We'll hit that one first thing in the morning and then make our round to the west. Now these last three that we saw weren't on any real maps when we were looking around for campsites. They just kind of showed up when we started Googling waterfalls in the area, and somebody had tagged these waterfalls. And like I said, most of these are off on logging roads. They're not the most popular ones, but if you feel comfortable with your vehicle driving down these roads, or this particular one is part of a hike that connects back to Foster Falls, from Wren Falls to Foster Falls on the Great Northern Trail. It's kind of considered a day hike, a full day. Park your vehicles at one end, drive down, park at the other end, and hike it over. And if you want, apparently you can spend the night here on the trail. One last shot of Wren Fall, and we're going to head on out. Good morning. I am in Copper Falls State Park, and that is Brownstone Falls. Apparently the rocks on those falls around it are red volcanic rock. I am at the second falls on the Doughboy Trail in Copper Falls. The first one I'm going to back up now and go back to Copper Falls. So let's go check that one out. So a note about coming out here as a photographer. This place is corralled. You don't have any freedom of your shots other than what time of day and how the light hits it. Your composition will be almost identical to everybody else's. There's not a lot of play because there's like a spot where you can see the falls and you're going to be crowded with tourists. We were warned that we won't want to be here later I am here before dawn, or at dawn, before the sun has come up. And we're warned that over 1,000 people will come through here today. So this is not the place to come and really explore and find that unique shot. But the falls are beautiful. It's a nice walk. People are here so much right now because of the color. It's all about timing, and it will be a Saturday today. So after I hit these falls first thing this morning before the crowds arrive, then we're gonna go head east or west all the way up towards Superior and find the few falls on the eastern side and up to Bayfield, I think, today. So this is one of those spots. I'm at Copper Falls now. It's right back there. Remember, Wisconsin looks better with you. Come on out, drop your phone in the holder, and get your selfie with Copper Falls in the background. Well, I may have lied a little bit, but there's not a lot of room. So if you look at the railing here, you have from that post with a sign on it, over there it is, to that sign where you can see the falls. Can't get a lot of photographers in that little space, as well as the viewing public to want to see these falls. But within that area, check out the slight variations in composition I was able to snag right there. Alright, so as not to completely confuse you, I started this morning at Brownstone Falls. That was part way in. I went back, I'm on the Doughboy Trail out here. I went back to the Copper Falls from there, which actually you hit first. Then I went back out to Doughboy. I kind of bounced back and forth because I was waiting for it to actually get light out so I can get some photos. Ooh, take a look at the pretty woods behind me now. It's kind of nice out here now. I'm still haven't seen anybody else on the trail yet. There's plenty of light. And I'm on my way to Devil's Gap or Hell's Gap. I'm not sure. Find out when I get there. It's a bridge that crosses the river where I'll have another view. So this is the first set of steps I've encountered on this trail. So you can go see Copper Falls. Well, there's a few steps, but nothing like this. You can go see Copper Falls, you can see Brownstone Falls on the Doughboy Trail, and then turn around and head back. But if you want to see them from the other side and do the bridge across the gorge, you're going to have to take the steps. This is some beautiful workmanship. Beautiful curved stair corners. I love this stuff. Careful, it can be slippery. I love to say I was showing you those steps going down just because they're just such beautiful steps. And they are. But the reality is, I got to the top of the hill, realized I still had a filter on my camera I didn't want, and decided, oh, let's take that off. Went to put it in the little pouch for it. The pouch was missing. I found it under the end of the bridge down there. So I had to double back. Now I gotta go back up the steps. Okay, it's about 115 steps up from the bridge up to the gap. Whole lot less than anything at Potato River Falls. And most of the hikes we went on yesterday, there were no steps. You always had to get down below the falls or something somehow, but it was never steps. So there's some steps. You can see the falls without steps, so if you want. So right now I'm at a viewpoint where I have Brownstone Falls to my right, Copper Falls to my left, and the outflow of the Bad River heading down. Let's pan you down and let you see that. So Copper Falls coming from my right, coming down in. I've got Brownstone over on my, well, Copper Falls on my left, Brownstone on the right, and then the outflow straight ahead. So it all kind of comes down in this little gorge and mixes. Alright, we worked our way over to Morgan Falls. It is a U.S. Forest Service land, so there is a fee to park here. We used our National Park Pass. That is an acceptable form for a place like this. So we're going to check out this falls. It's the second highest, you said?
Yes.
Second highest falls in the state. So we're going to see what it's like. And it is a bit off the beaten path. It was not that far from Copper Falls. It's the first falls west of there. But it was still a little bit of a meander hike and down a long gravel road to get here. But it's certainly passable. So far the trail has been accessible. You know, flat grade. I'm about to enter kind of a weird little space now. With a low canopy of pine trees.
The camera's going the wrong way.
You can see it now behind us. Can't see anything, it's too dark. Where'd we go? And it's gonna open up. Brighten up. So that was Morgan Falls. Lots of little different viewpoints to it once you get down there. It is a very accessible path. Easy to take a stroller or a wheelchair down there, a powered wheelchair. They had done extensive work to make it more accessible. There's even some spots where you can see a path went up and over a hill. Instead, they went around the hill now to make it much more level and easy grade. It's a beautiful little place, and as I say, you know, at the sign, your fees at work, and you can see where your fees have been going. So there is you have to pay to park here, and like I said, my National Park Pass was good for that. So it's a nice little hike. It's about 1.5 miles in and out round trip. It's straight in and out. There is another hike in this park, or in this forest, to something dome. It is much further out. I have no idea what it is. I'll have to look that up. But today's Waterfalls. So let's get on to the next one. Okay, after we left Morgan Falls, we headed up. We tried to go to Houghton Falls, which is just south of Bayfield. It has a very small parking lot. There's maybe 9 or 10 spots, and a gate that closes at closing time automatically. If you get trapped in there, there's a fine for that. And it has a little sign saying, if it's full, come back later. Well, it was full, so we're gonna go somewhere else. So we wandered up along the coast, and we are now at Siskiwit Falls. And I'm going to show you those. They're not a dramatic falls. This is more of a doom falls. Let's go take a look. So these falls have a fairly newish parking area. They say they're going to be doing more improvements along the shoreline. The parking area is on the north side of Siskiwit Falls Road. If you want to go to the south side of the falls, you have to cross the road and cross the bridge, cross the river, because straight across is private property. If you cross the bridge, and then you'll find a little trail that takes you down to the south side. On the north side, just off the parking area, there's a little sign over there for a little trail that we're gonna follow. All right, here's the falls. I'll get you some other shots. So we're here in the fall, which gives us some lovely color, but I bet this would be a really fun place to come, bring the family, spend the day down here, a good chunk of the day in the summer. You can just plunk yourself down in this river and just have fun. So it's not much of a trail. You can kind of see here, go off this way. They say improvements are on the way. After scampering down the trail, downriver a little bit more, I came to this beauty spot. Another tip, just realized there's a second parking area. This is on the west side of the river. The one we parked is on the east side. So if you're on the west side of the river, park there, you go straight across the road. A little to the left, you'll find the trail to the falls on the south side. But you're probably going to want to cross the road to get to the falls on the north side, because that trail seems to follow the river better than what's on the west side. Did that all make sense? Hope so, because I'm not sure if I did. Let's go see if we can find another one. That was a quick shift. Left that one, went down C, south on C, just a couple miles to Trail Road, and that takes us to Lost Creak Falls hiking trail. we'll go see what this is like. All right, we got here. Like I said, it's a short hop from the other one, but it's already almost 5 o'clock. 1.5 miles one way. We're out of time. We're going to start working our way back to the campground. So somebody check this out and tell me what it's like. Well, that didn't quite end like we had hoped. We just ran out of time. So, in the interest of time, I'm going to recap everything for you. We started out at Copper Falls State Park as our home base. I went out to Red Granite Falls first thing in the morning, 2.5 mile hike out and back to explore those wonderful little cascades there. Then we hopped on 169 and headed north towards Gurnee, Wisconsin to get to the Potato River Falls. Potato River Falls, expect lots and lots of steps. That is a big part of that. Then we headed north to Highway 2, east on 2 to 122. Headed north from there all the way up to the power plant at Superior Falls. We missed Saxon Falls. Try to find Saxon Falls. I think that might be worth it. The power plant, you can walk down to the bottom of the falls, or you can follow the fence line around to see them from above. After we were at Superior Falls, which is actually that side of the river is in Michigan, we followed the Lakeshore Drive all the way out to 505, which took us down to Ironwood, Michigan. And then from Ironwood, we went out on 2, just over the state line, and 51, you will find the parking area for Interstate Falls. Interstate Falls, you can meander that stream and see the falls themselves, or all these wonderful little nuggets along the way along the river. It is absolutely a gorgeous spot. Get out there and explore that and take some time there. Then we went back on 2, headed back towards the state line, but got on 51 to 77, followed 77 to Upson. Look for the signs at Upson for Upson Falls. There is a campground there. If you can park at the campground, that is great. We parked on the road because the campground was closed. This is Upson Falls. Definitely worth checking out. Actually, no, this is still, that's Upson Falls. Check that out. Then we hopped back onto 77, drove west to Casey Sag Road. Headed north on Casey Sag Road. We followed a logging road that took us to Rouse Falls. This is Rouse Falls. It is a sketchy drive in and out. It is these beautiful black granite cliff face. Headed north on that to Casey Sag Road to Foster Falls. It's off another little fire road. And then headed west from there all the way to the end of Casey Sag and followed our way to Wren Falls. Wren Falls is on the Tyler Forks River. That was the end of our day there. Went back to the campground, got up bright and early, went out on the Doughboy Trail to Copper Falls. And that's Copper Falls before dawn, and that's after dawn. On the Doughboy Trail, you will see Copper Falls, Brownstone Falls, Devil's Gate, and the Tyler Forks Cascade. There's a lot packed onto that trail. There's a side trail up to the tower, which this year in 2020 was closed. After exploring the park a little more and getting to know the Doughboy Trail, we headed west to Morgan Falls in the National Forest. We also could look for St. Peter's Dome at that location, the same parking area, and that would have made a full day. We probably should have done that. Instead, we decided to look for more falls. We headed north to Cornucopia to Siskiwit Falls. Just outside of Cornucopia, you'll find Siskiwit Falls Road. Just south of Siskiwit Falls, you can find Trail Drive to Lost Creak Falls, and that's where we ran out of daylight. So I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe if you thought it was, and get on out there.